Let's get into it.
Harris had raised over $1 billion ahead of Election Day. This didn't stop President-elect Donald Trump from cinching office with less cash spent. The Harris campaign and its affiliated committees dropped more than $654 million on advertising from July 22nd to Election Day, nearly double the Trump campaign. The Harris campaign declined to comment on its finances. A fuller portrait will be public after the election, as the Federal Election Commission mandates post-general election reports for candidates within 30 days. In mid-October, the Harris campaign disclosed that it had spent over $880 million this election, almost $526 million greater than the roughly $354 million that the Trump campaign had disclosed. Much of the Harris campaign spending was allocated for digital media advertising, polling, and travel from state to state, including to a private jet company called Advanced Aviation.
I'm a gun owner. Tim Walz is a gun.
What did this say?
Allocated for digital media advertising, polling, and travel from state to state, including to a private jet company called Advanced Aviation.
I'm a gun owner. Tim Walz is a gun.
I did not know that.
If somebody breaks in my house, they're getting shot.
One of the people that probably raised a bunch of money for her, Oprah.
Yes, I hear that. I hear that.
Millions were paid to marketing agencies, organizing appearances with celebrities like Oprah and comedian Trevor Noah. The Harris campaign spent six figures building the set for her Call Her Daddy podcast appearance.
Wow. Six figures doesn't just mean 100,000. How much of that six figures? What is it? 200,000 for her set? They was throwing away money.
Body gang, to put it in our TikTok terms, I have seen girls on the street walk up to men and be like, do you know where a tampon goes? Do you know how many tampons we use? Do you even know how, do you know what a X or Y or Z is of a part of our, and they don't know the answer.
Payroll and the taxes that accompanied it accounted for $56.6 million of the Harris campaign spending. In comparison, the Trump campaign reported spending $9 million on payroll, employing far less staff. One Trump campaign reported spending $9 million on payroll, employing far less staff. One Trump campaign advisor said, quote, "Money can't buy you love or a good candidate."
And these are the people that are in charge of running the country. I'm going to read y'all comments in just a second. This is exactly why we are in the trouble that we're in now. Look how much money she got, and look at the trouble she's in with the money that she has. It's very important. Not just money management, policies. Plan with the money. Like, what is your plan for this money? She's in debt after $1 billion. And you guys trust her and the Biden campaign with sending money over to Ukraine, Israel, all that stuff, right? You trust them. You trust her. See, how one person does one thing is how they do everything, right? Trump had much less than her. 350 something million from the report that I read, right? And she had $1 billion. And Trump had money left over.
Sensational.
Let's go to this clip right here. Glad I got it. I'm glad I got it. Let's go through right here. I'm gonna read y'all comments in 1 second. This right here says, is Kamala Harris campaign $20 million in debt? What we know. Okay. I'm gonna bring this a little bit closer so y'all can see. Come on. There we go. This says that Kamala's presidential campaign ended 2024 at least $20 million debt, according to Politico's California bureau. Now it says, let me see something real quick. Let's say $118 million in the bank. Okay, so she had $118 million in the bank as of October 16th. So I'm guessing the FEC probably, they got to get reports as far as what they're spending, right? Donald Trump was elected to the White House second time. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's read it right. Let's see. Wednesday. Harris campaign ended with at least $20 million in debt per two sources familiar. Harris raised over $1 billion and had $118 million in the bank as of October 16th. So we just read that, right? There was one section that talks about Trump. So they kind of keep saying the same thing about her being in debt. 1 second, y'all. 1 second. According to the FEC, the official Harris campaign had received, what is that? What the heck? Million up to October 16th, right? All right. So Trump campaign here. Let me highlight it real quick so y'all know where I'm at. Where's that? Where's that? Come on now. I just seen you. Okay, right here. So Trump's campaign raised $392 million and they spent $345. According to Forbes, Harris campaign spent $118 million. Yeah, we just said that. $36.2 million for Trump. So Trump raised $392 and he only spent $345. Businessman. Knows how money works. Knows how to manage money. Knows how to put people in place so that they don't go over budget. This right here, y'all, is so damn simple. We want someone who understands business, who understands how to manage a budget. If you can manage a budget of $392 million, now, because as a president of the United States, now you're going to now have to budget trillions or $1 trillion of a budget for the United States. What does that say? What that says is he probably knows how to do a pretty good job on making sure that money is not spent frivolously. This is a prime example why you liberals are out there crying your eyes out and y'all just voted on emotion. Kamala Harris is in debt after $1 billion and Trump is not, with less than what, like a damn quarter of what she had, probably less than that. This is why it's so, this is why you gotta vote with this and not this. This tells me, after reading this, being a person who has a couple of businesses myself, being a person that likes to follow the money and I'm all about the money, tells me, wow, he was paying attention to how he was spending his money. And maybe he was more resourceful with using the podcast so that he didn't have to spend so much money on the campaign. Do y'all want me to break this down? Maybe he was just a little bit better with watching, knowing that, hey, I don't have $1 billion to play with like her, but if I can still reach more people, spending less money and have more impact, that's what we're going to aim for. How much is it going to cost me to go to Joe Rogan? A flight? So maybe a flight from my private jet, that might cost me some money. Maybe some other things, right? But it's not going to cost me millions of dollars. It's not going to cost him $100,000 or six figures to build a set like she did for Call Her Daddy podcast, which was not effective. No one's talking about Call Her Daddy podcast. We don't even know what the hell that is. Trump with the Joe Rogan, full of millions of subscribers, and reach a lot of people quickly without probably having to spend a whole lot of money. Then he went to Aiden Ross. Then he went here. Then JD Vance went back to Rogan. Trump managed the bread. And he managed not to go broke in a campaign sense like Kamala Harris. Now, what is old Donald Trump trying to do?